Hello and welcome back to my bedroom. My name is Helena Nista and today I decided to invite you here to my bedroom to discuss something quite powerful yet vulnerable that has been happening to me for the last 6 months. You see, something I wasn't really sharing with the world was that my life and my health have been on a bit of a roller coaster ride for the last 6 months. So today I'm finally ready to share what happened. Back in August, I received very disturbing news about my health, something that was a shock and I really didn't see it coming. That then resulted in months of fear and worry and actually really transformation. Then that took me into medical tests and seeing the specialists, and then finally a surgery early in December last year, 2020. Now, as of early January 2021, I finally received the results of the biopsy, so I am finally ready to actually talk about the whole experience, and this is what happened. But let's start at the beginning. About 6 months ago, I had an unusual bleed. I am very regular when it comes to my monthly cycle, so this was really strange and I thought I'd better, have it checked. It turned out that there was a large cyst on my right ovary, and that cyst could be actually cancerous. What do you do when you hear the words "you could have cancer"? I didn't know what to do. I was really shocked. I live such a healthy life. I eat healthy, I exercise, I take care of my emotional wellness as well. So I feel like I would be like the last candidate for a cancer diagnosis. Yet here it was. 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 7 centimeters. So fairly large cyst sitting on my right ovary. I mean, where do you go from there? What do you say to that? How do you live your life knowing that you could have cancer? These are quite large questions that I was asking myself when that diagnosis came true. But I figured that I would just expect that everything's fine and that the cyst is benign until I was proven wrong. So we ran a number of tests looking for tumor markers, and then the tests came back mostly fine, but some of them confusing. So I was still not sure about what would happen. Then the next step was waiting for the surgery. I was scheduled for a surgery. The specialist decided to remove not just the cyst, but also the entire ovary. While waiting for my surgery, I decided to give my body the best possible chance of recovering, maybe even dissolving the cyst before the surgery happened, which would have been quite amazing. So I was seeing a Chinese doctor, I was getting acupuncture, I am still taking Chinese herbs, and they seem to help, but not to the point of actually dissolving the cyst completely. So the surgery still happened. But before the surgery happened, I needed to ask myself some profound questions. For example, what if I have 6 months to live? What should I do with my life? How do I live my life if this is it? If this is deadly? If the cancer has already spread through my body? If I'm not going to make it? And here an amazing realization was that I already live an amazing life and that I wouldn't really be changing much in terms of my last 6 months, because I live in a beautiful place. I'm surrounded by an amazing community. I feel loved, I feel supported. I work with my passion. I enrich other people's lives with my experience, with my expertise, with my knowledge. I do things that I enjoy doing. And if I only could travel more for the last 6 months of my life, that would have been amazing. I also started looking differently at the process or phenomenon of aging. See, I've been a bit scared of the aging process. It's beautiful and amazing and fun to live your life when you're healthy and youthful and sexy and your body is in a great shape. But I knew that at some point things would start to change. Things would get more wrinkly, more saggy, not as fit and healthy and firm as they are right now. And that was kind of scaring me. But then, the moment I got that diagnosis, I started looking at older women, realizing that I actually envy them, that they get to be old. It is quite a powerful experience when you realize that this thing you've been dreading in a way, that this actually is a blessing. People who get to live to an old age are blessed. That is such an amazing realization, and that actually really took away from my fear of aging. I also started wondering, how will I change my habits and my routines and how I live my life if I was to find out that I do have cancer in my body. What I would do is I would really clean my diet, and I would bring my body to the most healthy state that I can be in, just using food and lifestyle changes. And then I realized that I don't need a cancer scare to live a healthy life, because I do believe in the wisdom of our bodies and that they can heal themselves without necessarily always involving medical treatments or surgeries. And finally, I feel like the biggest insight of this whole experience has been the appreciation for life itself. My life could end tomorrow. The cancer could spread, and potentially there could be nothing the doctors could do. But I am here. I'm still alive. And I actually just got my results back from the biopsy. The cyst was sent to the lab to be tested for cancer, and I've just received the news that it was benign. There's no cancer in my body. The cyst was perfectly benign, and I will stay alive and cancer-free for the foreseeable future. I don't know how to describe that moment when for 6 months you are living in the fear of cancer, and to be then cleared of all of that with one sentence: the tumor was benign. That's a moment unlike any other moments. I think this has been the best news of my entire life. To know that I am fine, I'm healthy. I've recovered from the surgery. It's been 4 weeks now. I still have marks on my body from the laparoscopy, from the procedure, but they've been healing really, really well, and I am back to exercising right now. I am running again, I'm exercising again, I'm feeling good. I recently read a quote somewhere along the lines of, a man who has got his health has got 1,000 wishes. A man who hasn't got his health only has the one. For the last 6 months, I just wanted my health back. Now I do. So I can go and create more wishes for myself, for my life, and for the world. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for all the messages, comments, and the likes that you're leaving under my videos. So if you're ready to make this year much better than the last one, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below about your intention for this year. I love reading your messages and responding to them, and I can't wait to read what you post below. Thank you so much for watching this, and see you next time.